Attention passionate Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SCHNEIDER fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks. You've probably heard the whispers swirling around the NFC West lately. And if you're a Seahawks fan, you know how these rumors can really shake up the league's landscape. This time, it's about a potential blockbuster trade that could change the entire division dynamic. Rumors are flying that the San Francisco 49ers, currently sitting at a 5-4 record, are contemplating a bold move, trading their star linebacker Fred Warner to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I said it. Fred Warner, one of the top-tier defensive players in the league, potentially wearing that Seahawks green. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this even possible? Well, let's break it down and see why this rumor is gaining traction and what it could mean for Seattle. First off, Fred Warner isn't just any linebacker. He's a Pro Bowl talent, a true playmaker on defense, and arguably one of the smartest players on the field. Warner's stats this season alone speak volumes: 88 tackles, 5 interceptions, 3 sacks, and a stellar PFF coverage grade of 93.0. That's elite production, and it's why many analysts consider him a top 5 linebacker in the entire league. His ability to read plays, cover tight ends and running backs, and make game-changing tackles makes him invaluable. His career totals are impressive: 850 tackles, 15 interceptions, and after a knee injury in Week 4 last year, he's been close to 80% of snaps, showing how vital he remains to the 49ers' defense. But what makes this rumor even more intriguing is the possibility of a trade happening post-deadline, especially with the 49ers needing to manage their salary cap. You see, San Francisco has some big extensions looming. Ayuk's contract, for example, at around $35 million, and an overall need to balance their books. Plus, their defensive coaching has been somewhat inconsistent this season, allowing an average of 205 yards per game, which isn't quite up to their usual standards. It's led some to think that the Niners might be looking to shake things up, and trading Warner could be part of that strategy. On the Seahawks side, this kind of move would be a game-changer. Seattle's defense has been solid but has faced some challenges, especially with recent injuries like Jones' IV going on IR, which has impacted their points allowed per game. Adding Warner would give them an instant upgrade at linebacker, boosting their tackling numbers significantly, projected around +105 tackles for the season. Not only that, but Warner's presence would elevate the secondary coverage, potentially reducing EPA per pass by 23% and adding a multitude of turnovers, an estimated +7 interceptions per game with him on the field. Imagine that, a defense that's already decent getting a huge shot in the arm, transforming into an elite unit capable of shutting down even the most potent offenses. And let's not forget the leadership factor. Warner isn't just a stats machine, he's a leader on and off the field. His football IQ is off the charts, he's got a 92.8 grade in slot coverage, and he's shown he can intercept passes at critical moments, including a couple of interceptions against the Seahawks themselves, just ironically coming into the division. His experience and intelligence would be a massive boost for the Seahawks' young core and their quest to contend again. You know how much Pete Carroll values players with high football IQ and leadership skills, and Warner checks all those boxes. Now talking about the Seahawks' current season, they're eyeing a deep playoff run, and the odds reflect that, with Super Bowl futures moving from +3,500 to +1,200, a clear sign that Vegas is starting to believe in their potential. Warner's addition would be a clear X-factor in those postseason plans. His impact on the field could be measured in so many ways: more tackles, fewer points allowed, more turnovers, and overall defensive dominance. The Seahawks, with their already solid defense, would become even harder to beat, especially with Warner's ability to stuff the run, cover tight ends, and make plays in crucial moments. Of course, there are skeptics. Some say that trading Warner might weaken the 49ers' defense, especially if they also consider trading away someone like Greenlaw, which would be a bold move that could backfire. The 49ers are dealing with cap constraints and trying to extend key players like Ayuk, so some think that trading Warner might not be the best long-term move. especially if they're trying to stay competitive in the NFC West and the playoffs. But for the Seahawks, this trade could be seen as a strategic masterstroke. Imagine Warner lining up in that green and blue, leading the defense and bringing a whole new level of intensity. His presence would elevate everyone around him, players like Carter, Brooks, and the secondary, which already has playmakers like Shaquille Griffin and others. Plus, the Seahawks' defense has shown that they can improve in big moments, and adding a player of Warner's caliber could push them over the edge into true elite territory. This potential trade also ties into the broader picture of the NFC West. The division has been competitive, with the 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals all vying for playoff positioning. If Seattle were to land Warner, it could tilt the scales significantly, especially considering how much he's been a difference maker for the 49ers when healthy. His ability to intercept passes, stuff the run, and communicate well in coverage would make the Seahawks' defense one of the most formidable in the league, especially in the postseason. And let's talk about the bigger picture here. Warner's impact could ripple through the entire team, boosting morale and confidence. His experience in big games, playoff battles, and Super Bowls — he was part of that 49ers team that made deep runs — would bring a championship mindset to Seattle. Pete Carroll loves guys who understand how to win, and Warner's resume screams that kind of leadership. So what's the real story here? Well, it's still just speculation, but it's one that has fans buzzing. We've seen trades like this happen before, big names moving mid-season, shaking up the league. And if it does happen, it could be one of the most significant moves in Seahawks history. The question is whether the 49ers would be willing to part with a player of Warner's caliber, especially for a first-round pick in 2026, which is a pretty steep price but could pay off big time for Seattle. Of course, the timing is crucial. The post-deadline period is when teams reassess, and if the Seahawks see an opportunity to capitalize on the 49ers' cap issues and defensive concerns, they might pull the trigger. Warner's versatility, leadership, and elite production fit perfectly with the Seahawks' vision of a team that can contend for a Super Bowl soon. It's a gamble, no doubt, but one that could pay off in a big way. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking about the bigger implications. What does this mean for the NFC West, for the playoffs, for the Seahawks' future? Well, if this trade happens, it's going to send shockwaves through the league. It could be the shift we've been waiting for, a move that makes the Seahawks even more serious contenders. And if it doesn't happen, well, don't worry, Seattle's got plenty of talent and a strong core to keep pushing forward. But let's be honest, adding a player like Warner would be the kind of move that makes everyone sit up and take notice. So, Seahawks fans, what do you think? Is this rumor just a pipe dream, or could we be looking at the next big blockbuster in the NFL? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below, and let's dissect this together. This is the kind of news that can reshape our division, our conference, and maybe even our shot at a Super Bowl. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned and keep that Seahawks pride alive. We're heading into an exciting chapter, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our team. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.